The A-Force of Nature milestones are done, and the Rollin Rebel milestones are here. Are they going to be just as free-to-play friendly? We're discussing that in this video. Also, what are your Scourge priorities, and how much hoarding are you doing? We're discussing all of that and more on this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. This week, I am joined by my brother Boilon to discuss it all. And if you're ready for Brother Boilon, tell him what to do.
Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hello, Valley Maniacs. It is that time of the week again where we discuss everything in Marvel Strike Force, all the good, the bad, and indifferent over the past week in this edition of your Marvel Strike Force Weekly News Update. We do this every single week, so if you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. This week, I am joined by my brother Boilon to discuss all the good, bad, and everything else in Marvel Strike Force. Boilon, how are you, my friend?
Not too bad. A little bit warm here in Canada, which I know, yeah, some people might find that a bit strange, but yes, we're getting into the summer, so. And
is that a good thing or a bad thing?
For me, you know, my idea of a holiday is like going to Sweden or Norway, you know, like I like it cold. So.
Cold, okay.
Yeah.
All right. You got to go a little further north up in Canada to get all that ice and stuff, but
Alaska,
yes.
Maybe.
All right, but it is hot, and you know what else is hot? We've had some inbox messages in Marvel Strike Force that some of them confuse me. You know, we've got the Blitz unlocked over the past week. Raids was unlocked in the past week. And it looks like this week, we had some event issues finally resolved. But the thing that confused me, what is this for? Do you know what this was for? What error did they make this time that we're getting this for?
That's a really good question because there was very little talk about this in my Discord, and I mean, it has Nico shards, right? So
it's good.
It has to have been something related to the Sister Grimm milestone, maybe, but I don't know what exactly.
All right. Well, chat this morning told me this was for some Blitz bug that was happening. I don't remember which Blitz bug they gave us compensation for and didn't give us compensation for. So this is compensation. I'm happy it's here.
Yeah, it's not very. There's not much. I mean, not much that you need really. But
I need those 10. Every little Nico shard helps me.
Maybe, but if you maxed out that milestone, like you would have been like a clear 4-star, right? So that 10 is probably not going to do much for you. You're going to be sitting at like 10 out of 130.
well,
the less you spent.
This 10 and then the next 10 that we're getting in the calendar allows me to get to the next star. So 25.
Really? Okay. You probably unlocked her with some orbs though, right? So for most free-to-play players,
I did buy
these shards aren't going to mean much for them, but it's okay.
I bought her for the Scourge.
I'm glad you're getting a star rank.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk about the big thing here. The milestone that just ended, these A-Force of Nature milestones, which I wasn't sure how to take this, but now that it's done, now that I know that free-to-play players were able to get these fully crafted teal pieces, we got 4 of them, or 3 of them, 1, 2, 3 in this one, and a bunch of other rewards. I thought this was a very good event. How did you like this A-Force of Nature event now that we know that it could be completed by not spending your money, just grinding, spending time in the game?
I think that obviously the rewards there are good if that was intended to be the case for them. I mean, I still got it. Not everyone got it, you know, but you had to be really on top of everything. Like literally, because we can see that you're just over 50,000. So
and make sure you're watching those spreadsheets. You should have been on top of it with all the spreadsheets that you do.
I update this like basically almost weekly, if not more, because I have a subtotal running and I'm keeping track of June as well, you know, what's possible and what's not. So I think that most people could have got to like the 50,400 range. I think, you know, it depends on that first mailbox. I don't know if you remember, but there's random emblems of 1 to 300. It was completely random. So I think that was intended to for the ranking.
It said it was like 300, but it really was like 1 to 300. Yeah. So what is up with that? Now for me, I went 300. That 300 did not make a difference. And I was very upset about that Blitz bug that happened where you would lose Blitz matches. You would get a lot of the A-Force emblems. I didn't get any of those, and I still managed to do this. Now, in retrospect, looking at the back of that Blitz bug, how it was not even I wish they would have addressed it though. But now that they didn't give compensation for it, and we're still able to complete this, does that ease up some of the pain of that Blitz bug and them not giving compensation for that, or are you still upset about that Blitz bug? Them not saying anything about it.
I think the problem with the Blitz bug is that people who are in different time zones, particularly in Europe and Asia, were asleep at this time. So even if they wanted to take advantage of it, they couldn't have. And so it unfairly impacts other people than others, and it should have been compensated for, whatever, for emblems or whatever. It should have been addressed, and it got swept under the rug. And so I'm still a bit unhappy about that. Okay. And I hope that it doesn't happen again.
Now, we were discussing a little bit before this of these A-Force and Nature Advantage. You mentioned it briefly. You think that it wasn't intended for us to get all of these milestones. I hope you're wrong. I hope that, a month long of grinding could get some good rewards like this, but you think it was a mistake that we actually got these, right?
I mean, maybe I'm a bit cynical, but I feel that fully crafted pieces are very high value. Yeah. And so I didn't expect 38 to be 38, 39, and 40. I didn't expect that to be obtainable. And 39 is what you needed to get the 4-star, the 180 shards. So that I felt like they would have been just short, because they've done that before with Echo. I don't know if you remember, the Whaley milestone was like 50 shards of Echo.
I still remember the name of that, the mirror image event. It was so bad. I remember it.
So I'm happy that we did get it, but I'm not sure that I expected it to happen. And we'll see with June going forward whether or not we get, because there's another 3 fully teal crafted pieces in that too. So
is there 3? I thought there was only 2. I might have been calculating.
Maybe I'm mistaken, but either way, it's teal crafted pieces which have high value right now.
Yes. All right. So let's move on. Let's move on to these milestones here. Do you think we're gonna get? I guess this is gonna reveal if it was intentional if we get this, and that's gonna change if we're not able to complete these, and it was in fact, like you say, a mistake. That's gonna change my impression of these. But if we're able to complete these 2 times in a row. Yeah. That tells me that this is intentional, and I like how they're doing this. Now, let's say that we do get to complete this 2 months in a row. How would you feel about these month-long milestone events? That
I will sing Scopely's praise if we 2 months in a row can finish milestone 40.
Okay.
That being said, we've already missed out on the first of the month, because if you remember the start of the A-Force event, we had that mail, like we talked about.
We got a full topic. We're gonna discuss that, because that's a big topic on its own. But I do want to talk about these pieces here. I got this one right here. This is a fully crafted. This is a fully crafted. This is actually the pieces. But we instead of 3 fully crafted pieces of teal, we got 2 fully crafted pieces of teal and 3 fully crafted. Oh, not there. This right here. This stuff is a fully crafted orange. And if we scroll down here, this is another fully crafted orange. So, in your opinion, what is better for the majority of the player base? The 3 fully crafted orange and 2 fully crafted teal, or the 3 fully crafted teal that we got in the A-Force event?
I think, there's been a lot of talk about SBCs being an issue, so I'm not sure how much SBCs those gear pieces are worth. But I think that the teal probably still has more value overall. Maybe the reason why there's only 2 is because I don't know how much gear Dazzler requires. Maybe she doesn't have a 3rd piece for her, and that's why it's not there. I don't know.
Maybe some people were saying she only needs 2 fully crafted pieces, and that's why. Okay, yeah, because we did get the bio pieces for Spider-Woman in the previous one, and I didn't use it on Spider-Woman at all. So
neither did I.
Mutants. This is for Rogue. This is not for Dazzler. This is the Rogue pieces right here.
Everyone save it for next patch. Yeah, Gambit or Rogue or something. Probably not Dazzler.
Hoard more, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to be good in this game, you need to hoard. Now, the first of these Rollin Rebel milestones is live right now, this Victory Blueprint. And it looks like that we could get all of these A-Force tokens, all these disco balls, not A-Force, the disco balls, just from grinding and playing, not having to buy any of these. With that said, you will need to do some activity, spend some war refreshes that you maybe wouldn't spend, spend a little extra energy that you wouldn't normally spend. But is the juice worth the squeeze? Is the rewards that we get for pushing a little more worth it to you?
I mean, a lot of it is the T2 level 4 ions. I mean, outside of the disco balls, you know, that's important, of course. But I think where you really want to get to is that 103,000, that milestone 30, because that's the glamour earrings or whatever. That's the bulk. Like, you know, the Captain Marvel helmet or whatever, you know, so that's what you really need to get to. And I think that's reasonable for most players. I think if you want to push more, then either you hoarded those mail inboxes for war, or, you know, before the event started, you're probably only going to get to about milestone 32, maybe 33 regularly. Otherwise, you would have had to hoard.
Yeah, I think you could get to milestone 33. There's a couple things that I didn't calculate in my thing, and one of that was a inbox message where we're getting a lot of victory points. Also, I forgot to calculate fully in all those Stark Tech purchases that we could get. So I think you can get it if you're really, really pushing, and I don't think it takes a lot of extra time because you're going to do your war attacks anyway. You're going to do spending energy anyway. That doesn't take a lot of time. So I'm happy so far. I'm optimistic that this is going to be fully free to play, the Rollin Rebel milestones.
I mean, they're designed probably semi as, like, you know, whale-ish milestones anyways. If people want to go harder, that's on them. I think at a later point, they're going to ease up on the T2 level 4 ions. They said they're going to do that next patch. So hopefully that, you know, if you don't get those, it's not the end of the world.
Now, I don't think this is going to be fully completable. All 35 milestones. That seems to be a trend in some of these events. You know, getting all the good stuff like these disco balls is free to play if you really grind, but not completing all those milestones. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for the community?
I'm not bothered by that personally. Like, it depends on what's locked behind there, I guess. I think there needs to be some incentive for people who do spend to get something a little bit extra, but it depends on how egregious, you know, the difference is, I guess, and what's being locked behind it. You know, I'm okay with, you know, some gold and T2 level 4 ions locked behind some whale-ish milestones. But if it was like, I don't know, the difference between a 2-star character and a 4-star character, that's when we have a problem.
Yeah, this stuff, I don't mind it being behind a paywall, but the disco balls, any character shards, all that stuff, I get upset if that stuff is not available to everybody. And it looks like it is. It looks like it is. You do have to do a little more work than normal, but I think it is. So at least at this point, I'm happy with this event.
And we're getting 2 of these, don't forget. So, only one. Sorry, 2 of the ISO 8. Are we going to talk about that one? There's the ISO 8 Alliance milestone as well. That's starting on Saturday.
I didn't have it a topic, but we will discuss that because I did want to discuss this, and I guess we could discuss both of these. Is this worth grinding for? There's no disco balls in here. Just some good stuff. Yeah. If we look at the scoring for this, a lot of the stuff we're going to do anyway. Arena battles, raid battles, blitz. Maybe not blitz. Maybe not too much blitz, but is it worth pushing a little blitz for some of these rewards? Catalyst. You mentioned some catalysts that people are struggling with. Are you going to grind and are you going to blitz for these rewards?
I don't think you really need to grind much. I did some simple math, and, you know, as long as you do your normal raids and your arenas, you only need to do like a couple of blitz rotations in that entire week. So it's very limited actually on the blitzing front, which is good. So you could probably clear this mostly with raids and arena.
Okay, good.
And the SBCs, I think, are important. You know, like unless you bought that, you know, that offer, that crazy offer like last week or something, I think a lot of people still need some SBCs.
Now, let's talk about that. How much of a difference did that make for players? Did you purchase it before I move on?
I bought one.
One, okay.
One.
And how much of a difference did that make for you?
It allowed me to get my Knowhere heist characters to gear tier 15 because I was very reluctant in putting SBCs into them. So I kind of funneled that into there.
Baby, those dark promos.
Yeah, I don't like the
actually, is it for the dark promos or is it for those minimal elite 7s?
It was mostly the elite 7s actually. Okay. Because it's gonna bring me to, because it's on Friday, it's gonna bring me to a second elite 7 orb. So that's kind of why I did it. And you know, I didn't feel comfortable with it because, you know, gear 15, Star-Lord, and Rocket wasn't on the top of my priorities. But the offer helped me do that, I guess.
I did that early on. I was like, oh, this sucks. This is horrible. But if it's going to come back every month, the sooner I do it, the more value I'm going to get for it. So, you know, you did it now. You don't have to worry about it ever again. It's just, you're just going to get those promo credits. You're just going to get those dark promo credits and the gold elite 7 credits. So
it was a very tough pill to swallow, but I did it.
You never have to do it again though. So other stuff. So I got a lot of characters up. I built up a lot of characters, and then I noticed that, like Jessica Jones here, I ran out of this healthy. I got 4 of these now. So now I'm a new bottleneck, which is a good problem. But if you look at these, I had like 0 of these. Now I'm starting to stockpile these SBCs, but all my other catalysts are gone. And I think that shows just how many bottlenecks we have in this game, bro. Because you can remove one, and there's many others that we have to go through just to get the stuff we want.
And that's probably why I only bought one of those offers, because I knew that there would be an imbalance. If I bought too many of those, then I'd had more SBCs than the other catalysts, and I just wouldn't be able to do anything with them. So I was like, okay, I could use one of them, but I didn't want to like get too many, because then I wouldn't have any health catalysts, and then I'm not going to buy those. So, you know, I have to wait for that to come back.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know what we're talking about, there was an offer that had fully crafted SBC parts, not SBC parts, fully crafted superior basic catalysts, and some people were able to get it, some people weren't, unfortunately. They never addressed it after that. They did the right thing by putting it back in the store. Some people were able to purchase it 4 times instead of the 2, but that removed a bottleneck for me. So
I found that one a bit weird, because when it came back, I wasn't able to buy it, and I bought it once the first time, but I wasn't able to buy it at all when it came back.
Yeah, there was some weirdness with it, right?
I wasn't gonna buy it again anyways, but I didn't get the option, so.
I might have bought 4 at the time. Looking back and like all the other bottlenecks I have and not able to do anything with it, I'm good with 2, but I probably would have bought 4 if it came back all those times for me. All right, let's move on to this calendar here. We'll talk about this late June one, but we got a Pride Month calendar. Some decent shards in here. Nico shards. We got some other character shards here that are still, some of them are relatively new. Big thing right here is these war credits that I did not notice. This is 10,000 points for the milestones. So this is just free stuff, and this goes before the milestones. What do you think of these Pride Month calendar?
I think I'm not super enthused about their idea of Pride Month in general. However, I don't
expand. We don't have a quirky tag this year, Boilon. We don't have a quirky tag.
As someone who is part of the LGBTQ plus community, this is a very important thing to me. I think that they could have gone above and beyond, like they did in other years, actually, releasing characters that were related in this month. I know some people possibly are going to say that Nico, Nico's in there, but she was released in May. And people will talk about Dazzler, who was apparently a 70s or 80s LGBT icon, which is much before my days, because I'm not that old. So I think we should be living in the now, not the past. But it is what it is, right? And I'm not happy, but it's there.
Well, if it was up to you, what would make you happy? Who would be the character that you would want released in 6.2?
Oh, in 6.2? Well, realistically, or just ideally?
Should go inside with Pride Month. I mean, what would be the ideal scenario for you?
For me, it would have been Wiccan and Hulkling for Young Avengers as the
I forgot
rework.
About them. What about Richter? Richter is teased in the game for a long time. We don't have a 5th member of X Factor.
I'd have been okay with that. Hercules actually could have been a tie-in as well, because we have the Olympus extract in the game as well in the datamines.
For nobody, right?
I think it was actually in one of the milestones. We got them, and they never discussed that ever.
Nobody uses it, right?
There could have been tons of characters that they could have planned for June. Marvel Contest of Champions actually released Wiccan and Hulkling together for June, so I was really happy about that. For their inclusion of that. Feel that they could have gone above and beyond, done something like they did before with Moondragon and Phylovel in last year, and they just didn't really line it up that well this year, in my opinion. So I think they missed the mark, but hey.
How much of that do you think is planned, and how much of that is them being late? We discussed this beforehand, and both of us felt like they're a little off with all of their things. They're late. Usually with a change of the first number from 5 to 6, we got a big game mode or a big new feature. Nothing happened from 5.11 or whatever to 6.0. Nothing. Everybody thought it was going to be Cosmic Crucible. That didn't come out to 6.1. So do you think they will do stuff and they're just behind, or do you think they're just
maybe
forgetting this?
Well, we'll see who comes out in patch 6.2. I'm trying to remember the numbers now because you make me.
We don't have silhouettes. We don't have silhouettes yet. We usually get silhouettes by this time.
But you know, whatever, there could be inclusions for the Thor 4 tie-in at the end of 6. Like the second half of 6.2, because we know Rogue and a 5th X-Men character is coming, and so whoever they decide to add in after that could be somehow, you know, rumors of Valkyrie, and I would actually be okay with Hercules. I know that, you know, they're going to Olympus. Oh, I don't know if that's a spoiler or not. If you watch the trailers for the movie,
watch the trailers. Zeus.
So he, you know, Zeus is not an LGBT character, but Hercules is, and I don't know if he's in the movie.
Zeus,
but
maybe that would bring the way for Hercules.
And Hercules is a Guardians actually as well, so there could be a rework there for something.
And an Avenger.
They've done reworks before.
He fits a lot of teams. Hercules fits a lot of teams.
Sure.
That would check off a lot of boxes, I think.
Totally okay with Hercules' inclusion. If it's a bit late for one of these characters, if we get it in July or, you know, 6.2, we'll find out. You know, maybe it was meant to be June originally and their timeline's just bad.
I think their timeline's bad. I hope their timeline's screwed up, and that's why not getting all the stuff that you want. All right, Twitter. You just pointed this out to me. I totally missed this, and is this done by the same person that's doing all those nice infographics on Reddit?
I think so. I think somewhere in the comments, actually, I believe points that out. I didn't read through the whole thing, but I think some of them suggest that, and that's great. If it is, then hopefully they get paid for their work.
If it's not, though, this looks very similar, and I think that would be bad if they kind of try to steal the person's thunder. But if they're working with him, that is awesome. I love that. But the more important thing is this: the 17th and this fire. You took that fire to be a hint. I didn't even notice this. What do you think this means?
Well, I mean, I can't take the credit for that, but you know, the suggestion was that was meant to be related to a teaser for Sunfire. He is a X-Men character and might be maybe the 5th Unlimited X-Men member coming to the game next patch. We'll find out though. The
timing of that fits. The hint fits. Is it going to be Sunfire? Let me know in the comments. Let's get back to this June calendar though, because as you mentioned before, this did not come out on the 1st. This came out on the 2nd. There's only 30 days in June, which means we'll get to hear. What do you think is going to happen with this 250 power cores?
Well, hopefully they just send it to us in our inbox or something. But I guess that suggests that everyone's going to get it regardless of logging in. I don't know.
They would have to. Everybody got it on a 2nd. Nobody got it on the 1st. Even our friends from Australia, they got it on a 2nd.
I think the easiest way to fix that, I guess, would just be on whatever day 30 would be to just send it in the mailbox to everyone.
That would be easy.
The easiest fix.
Now, Brother Howlett, the person that exposed Brian, he wrote in to find out what is going on with this. This time he actually talked to Dave, so this time he didn't have to deal with Brian. But he says, I understand you're worried about the delayed June calendar. Rest assured, you'll be able to claim all the June calendar rewards as long as you continue logging in every day. Do you think this is actually what they're gonna do, or do you think this is just a customer service saying, yeah, just calm down, and this Dave is not sure what he's talking about?
I think it's a copy and paste response, probably. You know, from what I understand about support workers, you know, they have like a set of responses to give for certain issues. Yeah. So we know like half the time they don't know what they're talking about. They're just given, you know, they have whatever information they're given.
Brian seems to know what he's talking about though. Those war defenses and all that. He has some insight to the game that I don't even know what is going on with that.
We'll have to see.
We will. We'll see what they do. I think the solution that you said is the easiest though. On the day that we're supposed to get those 250 power cores, just send it to everybody in the inbox and we'll be just as confused. But like, issue resolved, 250 power cores, like, oh, this is great. What is this for?
It's just a quick fix.
All right, let's talk about this next thing. Not Rogue. Let's talk about the inbox messages, because this is related to the hoarding and the hoarding that we have to do. You said that you saved some of your war rewards and were able to complete a little bit more of the milestones. I saved one. I forgot and claimed one of them. The inbox messages expire 7 days from now. Is that because of the web rewards and people are hoarding them. Is that because people are hoarding other messages, or what? Is there some other explanation that you could think of? Because I just think they don't like us hoarding and stockpiling for these events.
I think they're watching videos of us telling people to hoard, and then they finally got enough and did something about it, because this has been in the game since the game was out. They've never done anything about this until now. So why, after 4 years, that they finally decided to change this? I don't understand why now all of a sudden. Maybe because they're going forward with more of these type of events that involve earning points from claiming rewards, in this case war credits, and maybe we might see more of that in the future. I don't know.
I hope you're right. Now there's another inbox message from some people, and I think it was related to this. And I actually had to write in, get some help from customer service, because I saved my maintenance mail. You know, the maintenance mail that you get some event campaign energy, some ISO 8 energy, some raid energy, things like that. Well, I was not able to claim it. I know other people that were saving it weren't able to claim it as well. So I wanted to discuss what I did. So I wrote in, help with missing items. No, this is all the standard bot stuff. Android weren't added to inventory, events, event campaign. Then I typed my message here. Eventually, I was able to get the stuff that I was supposed to get, and they put it in my inbox. I still haven't claimed it yet because because I'm waiting. I want to use these Blitz and all this stuff for a war, and hopefully benefit me for this new milestones. But I know other people were having issues with that, and right into customer service. It's not just you. It was me and a bunch of other people as well. So check that.
You got it back.
Did you have this bug, or did you hear about this bug that's happening for people?
I also heard about people just losing their mail, actually, like when it flipped over. But I don't know how widespread that was. A lot of people like half a dozen people contacted me regarding issues in their mail just disappearing, actually. So I don't know if there was something else going on as well.
That's a whole separate issue. That one's gonna be tough without
like war rewards that were in their mailbox that was automatically claimed, that they had claimed. I think they got the resources, but
do you think they accidentally hit this button right here? Maybe, because that is very easy to hit and claim everything.
There may have been who knows? There may have been an issue for a small subset of people. I'm not sure. It didn't happen to me, but maybe it did happen to some people. Honestly, I'm surprised that you got your stuff back from your maintenance message, that they even did that. But they should have just, after knowing that some people are affected by that, they should have just proactively gone ahead and done that for anyone who that was impacted by, rather than waiting for a support ticket.
Now, the day that I claimed it, actually that same day, we had the data mines about these expiration rewards. So I thought it was related to that, and then I started hearing other people having the same issues. So this may have caused some other issues there. And if it did cause issues with you claiming your maintenance rewards, then write in. Hopefully they give you all your stuff that you deserve, because that's another Scopely bug that you're probably not going to get any
a lot of
no
small
compensation
things,
for.
A lot of small things lead up to a big problem. So they need to fix the small problems.
Yes. All right. We got a new event. We have a new event in the game right now. The 2X a Thief event. Is this our second or third heroic difficulty event campaign?
Second. So we had Evil Strange. I call him Evil Strange.
Strange.
Dr. Voodoo was the regular one before that, though.
Okay, so how impressed with these heroic difficulties are you? I autoed this, but I know some people were struggling with this last node. Probably mid-game players struggling to get through this. Did you hear of anybody struggling with this that needed help with this last node, or
I think that the last 2 or 3 may have been, I don't know. I mean, for me it was pretty easy, but maybe I probably had all the right characters. I used Sharon Carter on that last node to stun Silver Surfer. I think some people had issue with Silver Surfer. It might be depending on what characters you're using. So it sounds like that you have to put a little bit more effort into like those last couple of nodes to get it, but the other ones aren't too bad.
Now, I've said I wanted something like this for just something challenging that I could use a new team. So it would be cool if I could take in some unlimited X-Men, try them out, some really, really tough content, maybe not for rewards, but just to try the full thing of the team. Would you like something like that added to this heroic difficulty? So one thing above that, and not for rewards like this, but just to play out with the team and try something that's difficult.
I kind of wanted them to have like some sort of danger room type of game mode where you could use like whoever you wanted, and I don't know, you'd tailored a challenge to you or something like that. Like it's kind of what you're talking about, but you'd be able to use anyone.
Like maybe like an unlimited mode, so you keep fighting wave after wave after wave, and then see how far you can climb up with it.
Maybe you're not getting any. You could get something from it, maybe, but I mean, otherwise it could be like a sandbox mode where you can just kind of bring in who you want, and then fight some enemies at higher difficulty to challenge yourself, or just to test the team out to see how well they do, or these characters do well together, kind of thing. I guess war practice exists, but it's not the same, right?
Yeah, I guess. You can't do that during a war, and you're limited for some things. But yeah, that's sort of. But I would like that, just, have the ability to toggle on war bonuses, have the ability to toggle them off. Same thing with Crucible and raids and all that. I would like that. It's just some really hard content.
That's going to be the next conversation, right? Is Crucible, because
let's go there right now. Let's go to Crucible right now.
Practice, but we don't have Crucible practice, and so I don't know. Is that ever going to be a thing down the line? Who knows?
I don't know. Yeah, I think if there's enough demand for it and the community is hot enough about that, I think, a year from when the community is really hot about it, they'll add that. So, if we push enough, they will add that, I think. Now, as far as Crucible, we've had 1 week, we have 2 weeks, we have 3 weeks in the books right now. What have you learned from those first few weeks? Any new strategies, any different strategies than the first time? Any new defensive that you find works really well? What have you learned from the first 3 weeks of the Cosmic Crucible?
I've not really changed my defense, actually, from when I started on week 1. It's still the same as it is then. But what I learned, offense is really important. You're getting a lot of credits per KO, quite a bit, actually. Like if you full clear everything, you get 3,600 Crucible credits times 3, 3 matches, that's 10,800. So that's a lot of Crucible credits over the course of that weekend. And so KOing, making sure you full clear, is really important. So I would prioritize offense over defense if you have a limited roster. Because those credits are important.
I agree with you. One person that I faced put the Darkhold team right here, and that was very challenging because you can't use that Eternal counter right there because they don't get speed, and I learned that the hard way. Luckily, I was able to beat it with my Darkhold, but that made the person fighting me not be able to full clear me because they had their Darkhold on defense and not on offense. And I agree with you. I think offense is a lot more important. I'd rather lose the match, get all my Crucible credits, because at the end of the day, when we get the payout, the rewards for 1st and 8th place are not super different. But if you don't get those Crucible credits for each KO, that's a big loss. So I agree with you. I think offense is way more important as far as the resources that you get. Winning is fun, but getting the resources, getting the max amount of resources, I think is more important. So I like offense as well.
I think I'm coming into a brick wall this week because I have a couple of Dormammus that I didn't face last week, and I think I'm coming up against more of them. And that's where the wall becomes a problem, because you at least for me, I normally have to 2-shot them, actually, a Dormammu team, because I just can't. I don't have what's available. I don't have the tools available, I guess. Because I had some guy who put Dormammu team and Darkhold and Infinity Watch all on defense, and I didn't have enough counters
was he able to clear you?
No, actually, I won I won by like a sliver.
Why?
But,
why? If he's not able to clear you, why do that? Why put all your stuff on offense? You're missing out on Crucible credits. I don't get it. I guess if your roster's big enough, you can still full clear, then yeah. But I agree with you. I don't like that strategy. You're missing out.
Dormammu, though, is a bit of a pain, I think, in Crucible because of the revive mechanic, right? And it almost doesn't matter who you put him with. That sometimes you have to 2-tap him depending on what your roster looks like.
Yeah, that's horrible. I don't have them yet, so I'm missing out a lot.
I noticed there's a few in yours this week. So.
Oh no, I didn't even look.
Yeah, there's a couple of red circles there.
All right. Let's. Oh jeez. Yeah, this is. Hopefully, I get some full clears. All right, let's move on to Agatha. Was she there all along? Or did she get added on the 28th? Because if we go to the blog post here, on May 29th, Aga was supposed to be there. I don't know if anybody has seen her between the 29th and when we got this inbox, this official inbox on the 31st. So have you heard of anybody seeing her between the 29th and the 31st?
No, I don't think she was in there.
There was one person in a comment video that said they saw her. Everybody else, including myself, said, no, she's not there. We have not seen her.
Did you get a photo?
No, the person did not have. It was just a YouTube comment video. So yeah, no proof of anybody seeing her. Just someone random comment, and it may have been a dev. Who knows? Do you think that we're gonna get any compensation for this?
I don't. I think it's probably, the blog is subject to change. Remember, it's at the bottom.
Oh, that's such crap. That's such crap.
I know it is, but I say this every time. Every time I talk about the blog, it's subject to change at the bottom.
When Zeeks was writing the blog, there was not something to change.
Everything's subject to change these days. The game is subject to change. The events are subject to change. We're on their clock, not ours.
I guess that protects them if they don't want to give compensation for this, right?
I guess so.
The Blitz rewards for losing, they're all something to change, and some people get it, some people don't. That's just how it is.
I think the bigger question is, why is she not in the regular orbs?
Oh yeah, Spider-Woman was added. Why wasn't Agatha added?
What's going on?
What? Is she the call of this team? Is she not going to be farmable for a year from now?
The weird thing is, though, and according to my data, like even the characters who were premium orb exclusive still were in the regular orbs before they became premium orb exclusive. So it doesn't really explain why Agatha, I'm pretty sure, is still skipped. Actually, I'm just looking at my data here. Yeah, she's
money.
Yeah.
That's the reason. There's no fancy explanation. It's all money. It's all for money.
Madeline and Spider-Woman are in the orbs, and Agatha is not. So I don't know why.
Is Madeline in the Red Star orbs?
No, not yet. But she will be next. She'll be next.
So they add all these. All right, we're all out of order here. I mean, with everything.
First time, really, it's been like this, though. I think that Agatha is just completely out of the orbs, which makes me think that they're planning something with her.
And we get people added. She was added to the Red Stars, and Madeline was not. Why? The order is all screwy right now. Is this planned, or you think this is more errors on their part?
I was actually even though I just said that, I was gonna say maybe they actually don't know that she was skipped, and then they'll have to be told later.
I think the more likely explanation is they forgot, and they're like,
I have a low bar of expectations these days.
You have to, man. If you take this game too seriously, you get frustrated, and you gotta kind of be like, that's how it is. All right, let's move on though, because this is good news. We got farmable characters. Agatha is a little controversial, but Magik was added to Hero 6-9, very, very early node for players. New players could farm the Uncanny X-Men right now, or yeah, I think they can farm the whole Uncanny X-Men. But Magik, they can farm Magik, which makes this team a lot better. How valuable is Magik before we move on to Captain Marvel?
I think that she's not that important for new players. So she's probably not that important overall. I think who she's important to is people who care really heavily about possibly Alliance War or Avengers Tower climbing up really high there. Because the Uncanny team with Magik isn't a bad team, but is it worth your resources at this point? Probably not, because there's other mutants coming out that could deserve that more.
Gotcha. Now, the other one that was added is Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel. She also had a Blitz this week. And how valuable do you think she is going to be? She is one of the characters that you could use a Scourge event. And do you think that she is going to make a difference? Is this going to be, how helpful is this going to be for newer players?
Blitz story is easier to farm than a node, because on average you're getting less shards per node per day. So it's faster farm. How much you need Captain Marvel though? I mean, that's the question, right? Because I think Young Avengers are going to be the most important team for Famine, for Rogue's event. Not A-Force, but we'll see, right?
So not even though she's a good character, not a high priority for the Blitz store, maybe a second or third priority.
Yeah, it's actually even below like someone like Gamora. Personally, I think even Gamora is higher than that.
All right, well, let's move on to Scourge. What do you? We got A-Force here. We got two other teams to discuss. Anybody in A-Force that you really bring up with the intention for Scourge alone?
I brought in Jessica Jones. She's level 85 from me, gear tier 15. I more or less maxed her out, actually. I really like Jessica Jones's rework. I think she has one of the best ones on the team. I like the barrier thing. I like the addition on the ult hitting multiple targets. I think it was a really good rework, actually.
And what about these new characters, Spider-Woman, Nico? If you had to choose between one or the other, first Scourge, which would you prefer?
Spider-Woman. Her kit's better. Yeah.
You don't like all the RNG? Nico could be a beast if you get the right RNG.
I want her to be good, but I just feel like there's too much gambling on her.
All right, we're playing Marvel Strike Force. You should be used to gambling.
Spider-Woman is quite good, though. She has a good kit, and I think she's worth bringing up.
So Jessica Jones, the best of the bunch. Spider-Woman, the best of the new. All right, let's move on to the next team. I think this is the most valuable team in First Scourge. We got 6 characters here. We got a full Young Avengers, plus one of the old Young Avengers with that Web Warrior tag. Squirrel Girl, probably the top priority. After Squirrel Girl, though, who would you be really building with the intention for Scourge? Or maybe after Squirrel Girl and Miles, because you're probably already using Miles for the other Scourge event and for the daily bio raids.
Honestly, it's kind of all of them. It's really hard to choose, because I think that they all do different things, but you can't, because people used to ask me on my channel, like who could I replace for this character? And I'm like, I don't think you really can. I think a lot of people want to replace Chavez, though. I think if I had to give one person, she's probably the most replaceable, but that doesn't mean that she's still not good. I think she's still worth having.
Does she still need to be nerfed? Does she still needs to be nerfed?
Maybe, because I hit for 1 million damage on her special one time. So yeah, actually, it can do a lot if she's properly geared and she has offense up from Kate. She can do a lot of damage. It's a guaranteed crit as well. The special, she has, I think, a top 10 damage stat in the game actually. America Chavez. Okay, so she's really good now.
And if we look at her kit, her damage goes up per Young Avenger ally.
Yeah,
so
that T4 is really good too.
Damage. Huge damage. I might end up doing that T4 before the Scourge event. All right, so all of them. Build up all of your Young Avengers. All right.
I think so.
All right, so a couple of the AA Force, all of the Young Avengers. What about the last team, the Inhumans? Anybody? I like Black Bolt, and then Miss Marvel kind of doubles here. Thinking maybe Yo-Yo. Any value in Quake, Crystal, or Karnak?
It's a bit of a weird one. So I guess it depends on how many characters you're building up. Like I have at least 10 characters, right? So my plan is probably a mixed A-Force and Inhumans combo, with Yo-Yo and Black Bolt in there, probably. I'm not going for all 15, or however many characters there are. I'm not going for 3 teams. I'm just going for 2. Maybe if you're one of those, the tryhards wanting like top 1,000, maybe you might get some value out of the Inhumans, but I just don't think there's a lot of value in Quake, Karnak, and Crystal probably. So, Yo-Yo and Black Bolt's fine, and obviously Miss Marvel's a Young Avenger.
Now, with the first Scourge event for Morgan Le Fay, a lot of it came down to how much you could stand and get through that bad RNG. Do you think this is going to be more RNG based or more character based for this famine Scourge for Rogue?
I mean, I'm trying to think of like what Inhumans would actually offer to the match, and they don't really have high burst damage other than Black Bolt. I'm thinking like, Captain Marvel's binary has the potential of maybe like killing someone. So as a burner team, that might be quite good. But here with like Crystal, Karnak, and Quake, they're not really huge damage. So I'm not sure what they're offering. Right, Yo-Yo. To worth, Yo-Yo and Black Bolt I think standalone are good, and then that's why I'm just going to couple them with some A-Force members.
I'm thinking Crystal for some healing, because she does heal those Inhumans in the first one when they drop.
Are they going to last that long? It depends on what kind of Scourges you're running, right? Because there's some Scourges.
Good point.
If I'm not mistaken, there's a Scourge that if you go under 50% health, you get trauma or something like that. So you can't really rely on Crystal to heal you.
Oh, do you think they're going to bring back the Scourges, or they're going to bring back all new ones?
I think it'll be the same ones. They might add some new ones in, but I think they'll use all of the old ones that were working.
Yeah, good point. Good point. This is Scopely. Too much work to do Scourges.
Minimal work for them, so I think they'll use a lot of the same.
Yeah, fix the Scourges, make them work properly, then think about possibly adding new ones. All right, but the reward for this is Rogue Famine coming, the 5th member of the next member of the Unlimited X-Men, not the 5th, the 4th. Are you hoarding any gear for Rogue right now?
Yeah, kinda. I want to be able to T16 her because I want to take her into Dark Dimension 5 Legendary. I'm actually just kind of waiting for the event. I might just get the 3-star before the payout and just take her right into Legendary. Yeah, okay. I'm thinking of that. So probably yes.
Gearing her up.
What's her unique going to be? That's a good question. It might be a new one. I don't know.
Should we hold all of our orbs, hold all of our credits, because maybe it's a new unique. Maybe it's one that we're using on another character.
I'm kind of thinking it might be like, I'm thinking her gloves or like will probably be her unique, maybe a cloth, you know, one of the cloths. There's molecular cloth and unstable cloth. There might be that. That seems to be the most logical, or a new one. I don't know. I hope not, but you know, maybe they might.
Would they be something that's totally outside of the lore and just give her the Olympus extract, even though it makes no sense?
They very well could do that. Like, that would not be surprising in the slightest. They've definitely broken lore tons of times, so who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what happens when she's released sometime. All right. One of the big things that we have is ISO 8 level 4. I brought up 2 characters, Morgan Le Fay, and I'm working on bringing up Agatha. Unfortunately, I put a little bit on Squirrel Gear here by mistake. Did you do any mistakes on yours? Because I know Mobile Gamer put Quake up to level 4. So
I heard about that, actually. Someone told me on my channel about that.
Ouch.
That's rough. That's right.
Any mistakes from you? I made 2, not a whole character, but I made 2 big mistakes, and that's preventing Agatha right now.
Kind of thinking I should have maybe done level 4 Striker on Morgan instead of Skirmisher. You know, I feel longer term outside of Arena that might have had more value than Skirmisher. So I can't switch, right? Because I'd have to do it all over again. I'd need the same amount of or 300k or whatever the upgrade cost is. I need that. And I think for my second character though, I'm thinking also kind of Agatha or Squirrel Girl.
Squirrel Girl's a big pick. Yeah, I think for myself, I'm going to do Agatha. Who else besides Agatha, Squirrel Girl, Morgan Le Fay?
Dormammu, I guess, for those who have them. Maybe.
If you have them. Anyone else pop up?
Saving for Rogue. Some people might save for Rogue.
Is Doom worthy of it at this point?
He's kind of, you're still using him a lot, but I don't think you need it. Okay. Whereas I think I'm thinking of what I need it. And so for Agatha, you know, it would give me 10% more focus and stats, of course. And so that helps me in Arena and land my stuff. Squirrel Girl, just because I have a 7 reds, I have like a 220k Squirrel Girl. So, you know, like I just kind of want to
I'm jealous
max
of
that out. And so it depends on what you're prioritizing, I guess.
I bet your war opponents hate you.
Yeah, that and Cosmic Crucible, because I have them on defense.
Oh man, I hope I don't face your Cosmic Crucible.
Anyone who knows me might know who I use on defense. So,
I mean, they're good on offense, but they're so annoying on defense. Why would you not put them on defense?
It's a great team. I think people were sleeping on them for a long time, and now they're forced to build them.
Well, because they're a war defense team. Yes, they were a good team all along, but their main use was for war defense, and now they have another use in other game modes and Scourge as well. So, yeah. All right. We got another character. You mentioned Gamora. Running mate Adam Warlock came back. Now, last week, Hargrave said he's using Infinity Watch still, and he's upgrading his characters. In your opinion, is Infinity Watch and Adam Warlock still relevant? How hyped should people be that Adam Warlock came back?
When I was running my baby account, which I don't play anymore, I skipped Adam Warlock personally because I just didn't feel it was worth it, and this was back in the spring, I guess. Okay. It's just all of the stuff that you need to do to get to him, right? You need Jubilee as well. So for newer players, it's a lot of characters to get him unlocked. And I don't think you need it, but if you're able to, like, you know, you have everything without trying too hard, then that's good, and you should do that. But I don't think he's like a must-have anymore at this stage.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't even build him up for Dark Dimension, just because of all the mystic that he takes.
Yeah, not going to do it for Dark Dimension 5. He obviously is a really good character. It's just I think that he's being outclassed by a lot of other characters, newer characters that are coming out now that are important.
Is he kind of like the Silver Surfer, just a good character and not really
he's
too much?
But I mean, he's really important to that team, right, for Infinity Watch. So Infinity Watch is still a top team. You know, it's like when Black Order stopped being arena relevant, but they were still a good team.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, the priorities just weren't there. You know, I wish I had more resources, you know, to do that. I don't even have 7-star Adam Warlock because I don't have Gear 14 Polaris or Multiple Man because they're expensive to gear. So I'm sitting with a 6-star.
Well, kind of like we mentioned, you never have to worry about it again.
I know. So. I just didn't want to, because now with a lot of mutant characters right now, I just didn't want to do it.
Back in the day, it was kind of worth it because they were worth it for arena offense or war offense, and they're kind of falling out of it. So if you do it now, it's pretty much just for Adam Warlock, unless you're taking Multiple Man into Dark Dimension.
No, not really using them much anymore. So I can't justify it now, and I can't really justify it to new players either. But you know, if you really want to do it, hopefully you don't have to try too hard.
Okay. All right. We mentioned Knowhere heist a few times already. How hyped are you for this? That you're done with Star-Lord, you're done with Rocket, and you never have to worry about gearing them up again. And are there more rewards for these Dark Promo credits? Elite 7 credits. I don't remember any gold, so
Where
I guess
does the
it's
gold come?
minimal
Yeah.
gold. I don't remember it. But
I think we're being gaslit on the gold.
We'll see. Maybe this time it
I
will
don't
have
remember
gold.
that. The dark promotion credits, I think the values need to go up. Actually, I think it's a bit low because when you compare, even at tier 7, when you compare the dark promo credits to what you can get out of a red star orb, you know, when they have the 10 times bonus, it's like it doesn't add up. It's not very good.
Yeah, you're right. I don't remember it. I'm going into the game right now. There's no gold. There's no gold. Maybe it made the first time rewards, but
I believe that was the case, and Cerebro told us, "Oh, we just misread. We misinterpreted the blog. Something about the maiden voyage." I remember that line.
We misinterpreted. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that line.
I hate when that happens. Oh, and I just noticed this. This is still so funny to me. I don't know why this is so funny. This. Anyway.
Oh, the middle finger.
Yes,
Basically looks like a middle
Warlock.
finger.
They've kept it in. It's been a meme since day one, and they keep it in with this meme going on. Anyway.
I love that image.
I still think that is so funny because that was one of the thumbnails, like blurring that out, and then it's actually in the game like that. Anyway.
I still do that on occasion, actually, because it's funny.
It is. I laugh at it every time I see it. I was like, why? It's been there for a while, but I still laugh at it. Anyway, we got some data mines. This is about Nico's costume, the Pride Inferno. And if we look at the dates for this, the different things for the Rollin Rebel milestones, we would first have Victory Blueprint, which is going on right now. From the 8th through the 15th, we're having the Pride Inferno. And then we're going to talk about the data mines for Ace of Raids. That should be the 15th to the 29th. So the Pride Pride Inferno, Nico Minoru runaway costume is one of the big things. Also, disco balls, the skates, which is worth some big things for the Rollin Rebel milestones, stat catalyst parts, gold promotion credits. How grindy do you think it's going to be?
It doesn't say entirely.
It says spend campaign energy. Of course, these are just data mines. These are all something to change. We don't have the official announcement. I suspect we're going to get them tomorrow in the blog post. But how grindy do you think this is going to be based on what the grind that we had to do for the A Force of Nature milestones?
I'm kind of wondering if there's any Blitz in this because it doesn't say. However, I find it hard to believe that we're just getting Pride Orb fragments from campaign from energy, I guess, and that's it. And daily objectives.
We're spending energy right now in these milestones, so 2 energy ones in a row. Of course, these are data mines. These are something changed, but what do we have to do for Wong? What do we have to do for Wong?
Blitz. I'm pretty sure Blitz is involved. There was some blitzing.
So
I would be
probably
shocked if there's no blitzing. They love Blitz.
Yeah, because the milestone we have right now, you do have to blitz, but it's for the web rewards. Has nothing to do with these Rollin Rebel milestones. We probably will have to. You're probably right. They're probably missing that.
We're due for a blitz thing.
How excited for this costume are you?
I think it's terrible. It looks terrible. Her original outfit is way better.
I like her costume in the game right now. I don't need it
is good.
Just like the Jubilee original costume. I like that way better than the costume. So
I don't know what they were going with this. It feels like her casual wear.
Will you be saving her pink phase bits for another character down the road? The next pink phase character that they're not going to reset and you could buy it right off the bat.
Right, that's a good question. I mean, like, who was that for again? There was the Storm costume. Some people got that for free, but
with the totally rad Silver Surfer costume from the web store. Yeah,
I bought the Silver Surfer costume though, so I guess I didn't get to.
Yeah, I kind of liked it. I kind of liked it because it's different.
I may either that or I might just save it for costume credits, to be honest, and just get something else later down the line, perhaps. They must really like Nico. She just got released and now she's getting a costume. Very, very quick. Don't really like the character. Well, I don't like the character in Marvel Strike Force. I don't like the kid. I'm not going to really raise her up much, even for Famine. So don't really care about the costume. Going to get the costume credits, I guess, and we'll see how that, maybe I can get it something else.
All right. Let's move on to the next data mine. Ace of Raids coming soon, Gambit. So we know that's going to be from July 15th to the 29th. And that is about it. We don't know what else is with this. We know very little. What do you think we're going to need to do for Gambit? How much grind are we going to need for him? Considering he's a 1-star unlock.
Yeah, I think there was suggestion that it was actually going to be a new raid. It's 2 weeks, which is usually the length of, say, a Greek raid. So I think we might get a brand new Gambit map, maybe, or something related to that.
Is it because of the Ace of Raids, the name of the milestone?
Maybe. No, I think it's actually the 15 shard unlock, because I don't know if you remember, but back in the day, some of the raid ones, I believe it was Miles, may have been a 15 shard unlock when he was released via the beta raids.
Oh, that's way far back.
A long time ago.
I don't remember that far back.
The raid, but we had raid release characters. It was Venom, Miles, and Juggernaut.
And I think Deadpool was a raid release character.
That's
and
true.
Thanos was as well.
I think Deadpool was a 1-star unlock actually as well.
Whoa.
Thanos wasn't, but I think Deadpool was.
Okay.
So there might be. I think it is going to be a raid. And that's why it's funny that it's 1-star though. I'm like, what are you gonna do with a 1-star? I might even just make a video of like taking a 1-star Gambit into Doom Raid just for fun.
Well, my suspicion is maybe he's gonna be so hard to unlock. His event's gonna be so grindy that we're just gonna barely get enough shards to unlock him.
Maybe they might give it to us for free, but that's Scopely. Maybe I shouldn't be too positive.
Sometimes they do stuff like that. Sometimes they do nice
like,
stuff.
Here's 15 shards for free. Everyone gets it, and then now you gotta bust your ass for it.
But you need Olympus extract, and you get none of it. So you can't. You get it to unlock him. You just can't gear him unless you spend a lot of money.
I mean, we'll find out pretty soon. I think his offer has to be probably like this weekend, like his actual offer, and then before this event, clearly.
Well, if his event starts on the 15th. A week before that is the 8th. So I'd say anytime between now and the 8th is very likely to see a Gambit offer. So,
and they should be a bit more clear. Maybe even on the blog post on Friday.
I think all these data mines will be made official when in the blog post, and then we'll get the.
Oh, but remember, the blog is subject to change.
Oh.
So you gotta remember that all the time.
Sometimes it changes for better, like some of the numbers, but sometimes it changes for the worse, and we're just surprised. So
I check at the bottom of every blog post to see if that's posted there, because I just think it's like a running gag now.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, jeez. All right, one more data mine, and obviously these are not official, so these are all something changed. But Bendy Girl and the Witch, this was such an old event. I don't even remember what the rewards were, but they were updating the rewards, and if you already completed it, you're getting some new rewards. What do you think they're adding to this? Teal gear, gold,
ions,
blue ions?
Maybe. I remember, I think I did this. I think tier 7 was T4s. I think there was T4s. It was when T4s were somewhat fresh. And this was Scarlet Witch and Miss Marvel, for those of you who didn't know the reference. But yeah, so that means it's coming back at least once. Oh, because of the Miss Marvel TV show is next week. So maybe there's going to be a release for they're re-releasing this maybe.
That makes sense. I'm not getting it. I'm just not even going to show up. I'm just going to get, if they do this inbox message, I'll see it. And
yeah, I've already done it too.
And we don't know when it comes back.
Extra stuff is extra stuff, but I'd really appreciate them actually doing more unique events like this. This was like Fox Next days. Like this was a good. Do you remember the Ant-Man and the Wasp event, the Rocket and the Groot event?
That was challenging. That Ant-Man and Wasp. I remember how hard that was, and it's like, oh, I got to actually use some strategy to try to get through this.
Or what they did like a year and a half ago, or like the Falcon and the Winter Soldier with Captain America and Zemo in that. Do you remember that one? Like early last year.
That one never came back, right? That was
But these were unique ideas that actually I could appreciate, and I wish they did more of these things.
I do as well. That's all I got for today. All right. Overall happiness with Marvel Strike Force right now, based on some of the things that we've seen over the past couple weeks. Where are you on a scale of 1 to 10? How happy with the game and the devs are you?
I'm in the middle here. I'm probably like a 5. I feel like actually May. I think May was, in my opinion, with the amount of problems there were, events not launching properly or on time, and a lot of other related issues that we had. I feel like it was one of the worst months, actually, in my opinion. But I hope things improve.
I feel if everything went as intended without the bugs, May could have been one of the best months, but with all the bugs that they had, it put like a little damper on this. If they could just get the stuff to work correctly in June, and they did everything like they did in May, I think we were in store for a good month. So I'll be a little more optimistic, because I'd say I'm like a 7 I'm pretty happy
There's
right
room
now.
for improvement, but you know, I'd love to get proved wrong.
I would like it as well, because I want to be happy with this game. I want to make content that's fun and silly, and not, oh, we got to complain about this to get the devs to actually do something. So that's where I want to see this game.
That's the hope.
That is the hope. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. We do this every single week. If you have not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And Boilon, before you go, let everyone know where they can find you. And if you have, I know you have some stuff that's upcoming. So,
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to tease it yet or if you want to hold off on that. But let everyone know everything.
Nothing crazy, but of course, this is June. This is Pride Month. This is a very important month for me, so there's probably going to be related videos to that sprinkled throughout my channel this month, despite what people might think about it. You can also catch me on Twitch on Wednesdays and Saturdays at noon Pacific time for a couple of hours. That's Boilon89 on Twitch. And then, of course, just Boilon on YouTube.
All right. Links will be down below, guys. Make sure you check him out on Twitch. Make sure you get him to subscribe on YouTube. Check out some of his videos. He likes a lot of the spreadsheets. So if you want to make sure that you're on pace for this Rollin Rebel milestones, make sure you check out some of this content. Thank you once again, my brother. And before you go, you ready for a fist bump?
Sure are.
All right. Check me out on social media, guys. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, and Boilon.